It's 2020. Happy New Year. Autofocus, can you just fuck off? Right, that's that bullshit done then. Anyway, we live in a world of compromises now. We have, huge problems such as Australia's on fire, Newfoundland's under snow. I didn't pay for my university education yet, but you know what? I have been thinking, what do I want more in the world? Better recording equipment or video games? Well, the answer's obvious. Yep, that's right. The year is 2020 and I'm doing a fucking ancient old video game review channel because of course we don't have enough of these. There. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. Because they're making the movie and they announced Baby Sonic. Because of course that's what everybody wanted. Everybody wants Baby Sonic. No. Anyway, Sonic the Hedgehog. Yep. This is Somari, Hummer Team. This is known as Sonic the Hedgehog 5. Sorry. Sonic 3D Blast 5. The most important 3D Blast game ever, because they made the first one for the Genesis, and for the Sega Saturn, then for the Sega Dreamcast, and for the Sega Atari Jaguar, and now we have one on the NES. Except not NES, it's a Famicom. And I don't have a real Famicom, so here we go. It's right off camera. This is a wires to short video game system, which is black, has nothing special. I'm gonna just... There. See, look, it looks nice. It's a game console. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to realize that I forgot to turn my TV on. Wow, what a brilliant idiot am I. All right, let's hit the power button and see where we go. If it would fucking load. Okay, cool. We're doing this thing now. What is wrong with the palette? It's never like this. All right. You know what? Let's do it again. Okay, no, you know what, game? There we go. Alright, so here's the deal with this game. I look back on Sonic 3D Blast 5 fondly, because I used to play it as a kid. Granted, this is a Taiwanese mess that was made by the developers banging rocks together violently until the computer stopped screaming incoherent garbage most of the time, but it's a mess that I like, even with the many inherent flaws in execution. I say that this is a mess because it really is. It's a game with 4 zones compared to Somari 6 and Sonic 7, mostly because it decided to skip Green Hill Zone and Marble Zone. Should be a pretty fast game, right? Nope. Springyard Zone is one of the toughest acts in the whole game because everything works against you. Let's start things off with the bad. The controls are finicky, although not terribly imprecise. Getting momentum is an ordeal for no good reason. Due to hardware limitations, when you get hit, you can drop no more than 3 rings, but you still lose all of them. You only have 5 lives, and there are no continues whatsoever. So when you die, you're back to the start of the game. On top of that, even if you somehow manage to get 100 drinks, which you probably won't, you don't get any 1-ups at all. If you think that's everything that's bad, it's not. Every single time you drop rings, they're pretty likely to glitch through the wall into an ether from which they may never return. Heck, you might also end up in this ether yourself. You might really end up in this ether. You probably might die at least once from clipping through the wall as well. The collisions just generally suck. And at this point is when little 8-year-old me would give up, turn the Dendy off, and go outside to play Brick to Head. But I'm a stubborn bastard now and I wanna be, so I wanted to at least reach the boss. Doing so required me to slowly clear the levels bit by bit, because even though they're repetitive, they're very dangerous, and at times it felt like I was clearing a naval minefield with a naval mine glued to my hand. After enough time, I did manage to reach Eggman, but I ended up becoming invisible and died because I couldn't see shit. Other times I died because of reasons. But eventually, after trying to stop Eggman like you would stop a toddler with nitroglycerin, I ended up beating Springyard Zone and gained a little bit of my sanity back. Then I lost all of it because I forgot Labyrinth Zone was a water level and I hate water levels. I tried to do the first act as fast as I could and I finished it in just over 7 minutes. And that's the moment that I realized that I'm not prepared to enter a committed but abusive relationship with a girlfriend known as Minesweeper the Hedgehog. Obviously, I'm down to 2 choices here. I could take my girlfriend and place her ass into the dumpster fire known as my collection of Famicom games, or I can cheat on her and hope no Taiwanese guy comes to my house looking to break my knees for cheating on his bootleg daughter. Except she doesn't have any boots nor legs, as I paid like $5 to get her in the first place, and the people you pick up for $5 in a shop behind a 7-Eleven or AliExpress typically aren't the best quality. Speaking from experience. So yeah, somewhere around this point the analogy broke down, and its current status is somewhere in between my life in the Western Roman Empire, but you guys get what I mean. Point is, I found out that there's a level select code, and that means I don't have to do Labyrinth Zone anymore. It's even more finicky than the rest of the game, but that 20% of the time that it works saves a lot of time actually, because I can either use it as a continue, or as I really don't want to play Labyrinth Zone button. This also lets you access the 2 removed acts, so if you really want to play more Sonic 3D Blast 5, well, there you go. Plus, it's also the easiest way to access a special zone, which is nothing more than just several hundred drinks that, once again, don't give you anything but points at all. Alright, so Starlight Zone, that was actually kind of fun because it actually felt like it was going somewhere. I didn't have to stop every 3 seconds to be sure that, hey, am I going to die here? No? Okay, good. And then there's Final Zone, and Final Zone is just... well, I don't know how people would beat it without the level select code, because it's buggier than the rest of the game combined. There's invisible walls half the time, and homing projectiles that require you to ghost at invisible walls to properly dodge them. And I know that there's people out there that have beaten this. I've seen the ending, but like, this video's gone on long enough, so... here's my opinion on the music. It shouldn't be bad, but the sound driver is one of the worst things I've ever heard. And that's that in a nutshell. The music is beyond atrocious in execution, but theoretically it's a pretty decent arrangement of the Genesis music, I guess, if that makes any sense. So overall, I give this game like 5 Sonic 3D Blasts out of 6, because apparently there's a Sonic 3D Blast 6. I really don't want to play it, and honestly, I don't even know how to end a video, so I'm just gonna cut it off mid-sentence.